What a point, what a way to start the match. It was just one of the things I wanted to see from Jannik Sinner, was using a drop shot and a short slide to bring Khachanov in, because he's so good from the baseline. As Karen Khachanov with that forehand hits the ball so big, but he was able to get to that and find the winner.
Trying to play quickly and get in on the baseline. Colin Fleming is court side, and he's got the best view in the house, no doubt, for this one.
Yeah, thank you guys. Certainly do have a very good seat, and it's a beautiful afternoon for tennis. Still plenty of heat in the air. The sun is fighting the clouds above, and the way these guys like to play big, powerful tennis, I think these are good conditions for it. What breeze there is just at the back of Sinner from the end he's played from.
Khachanov has started big, no doubt.
Yeah, Colin, what do you think about the conditions as far as, you know, we had the roof closed earlier today and now it's open, so it's heat. It's going to be playing a bit faster. Who do you think that helps between the two?
Well, I think Sinner would rather have the roof closed,
yeah,
with no sun and no wind. He said that himself. He prefers no wind conditions. I mean, the end of last year he was so good in an indoor environment.
Brilliant there. So probably better for Khachanov, but I still think Sinner has to be, you know, firm favourite with the profile of player that he's become.
Yep, and I'd agree with you there, Colin. And I think, you know, with Simone Bagnozzi, they've really worked on him coming forward, trusting himself when he gets the short balls. And as you saw him there, he wasn't afraid to get on top of that net to make the volley.
Let.
Rather telegraphed.
Wow, the game plan is on display. They both know that these guys like to play from the baseline, so they're trying to bring each other in to make this more of an intangible type match. But so far, both guys getting up to this drop shot with ease.
Oh, clean as a whistle.
Yeah, and that's Jannik Sinner to a T. He has a great backhand down the line, and I think that's something that you can do against Khachanov, is get him running to his forehand. He likes to move to his left to hit inside out or inside in. So if you get him moving to the right, he sometimes backs away from the ball and it lands short, and Sinner could dictate from there. But what a strike. Amazing point there from both players. If you look at the statistics, Sinner likes to take his backhand cross court 85% of the time and 15% of the time down the line. But so far, he's completely changed those percentages, using that down the line a lot more often to get to the forehand of Khachanov.
Well, that's a timely ace. And what was a bit of a struggle in the opening service game for Khachanov. Well, Colin, he's got a game built on a serve +1. Karen Khachanov, and I'm sure we're going to see plenty of that today.
Yeah, plenty of that, and plenty of the extended baseline point we saw there. Goodness me, those guys are cracking the ball and going on for sort of 20+ shots. So if we get those types of points repeatedly here, I think it could become quite a physical battle.
Absolutely. The win predictor will be interesting. Pretty sure I know on which side it will be. Wow, that's a big discrepancy.
Yeah, that's a pretty big discrepancy there. And Sinner's 2-1 against Khachanov. Last time Khachanov beat him was in 2020, but to be 81% to 19%, big discrepancy there.
Control of the rally and pushed into court. There's Darren Cahill, Simone and Yossi as well. So Cahill's been a big addition to the team.
He sure has. And Simone Vignosi, I've actually played against him back in the day, and he had so many intangibles. He had the short slice, the drop shots, and that's a lot of what he's trying to bring to Jannik Sinner's game. We all know how big Sinner can hit the ball, but he's gotten so good at all the small other things now. Sinner's a very big server, does a great job of mixing up his spots on both boxes. You saw that kick jumping up on Khachanov. Normally averages about 120 miles per hour on his first serve, 95 miles per hour on his second.
Khachanov provided a target, and it was an enticing target for Jannik Sinner.
Yeah, but I like the fact that Khachanov is coming in, putting pressure on Sinner. I think one of the biggest things that'll be important throughout this match is the first serve percentage from Sinner. He was at 58% in his last round, and Khachanov really struggles when you make that first serve. He puts less than 70% of his first serve returns back in the court. So if Sinner's making first serves, he's going to get a lot of points.
He hit his spots in the last couple of serves. Comfortable hold, 1-1, first set.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of serves to that forehand of Khachanov. He typically chips that forehand return about 50% of the time. So great playing from Sinner. Khachanov is one of those guys that looks to play his serve and then a +1, looking for the forehand. Looks for that forehand 60% of the time, because that's the wing that he can get really good pace on, penetrate through the court.
To wait before that second serve and dump the backhand into the net for love 30. Oh, brilliant. So deep. It's so precise with that forehand.
Yeah, he sure was. And you just see the dexterity that he has, Sinner. Just so quick to move to this ball with his first step. He's not always that great on the defense to his backhand. As you saw, that ball floated almost where Khachanov had a chance to take that ball out of the net, and Sinner made him pay.
Just thought that was a very dangerous approach shot, guys. You know, going into the forehand where he had time. He was always liable to get picked off there. I feel like he could have gone into the backhand corner, perhaps.
Yep.
Oh, wow. And he needs one of 3 break points as he rips the forehand up the line to break in the 3rd game of the first set.
Well, Jannik Sinner recognized this ball here, landed a little short in the court, and he took about a 45-degree angle to take time away from Khachanov. And kaboom. Strong core, strong legs, pinpoint accuracy.
Time.
Jannik Sinner moving through the gears in that previous Khachanov service game. And he's got a few. Propensity to break early and apply maximum pressure on his opponent.
Yeah, as soon as he gets that early break, he wins the set 91% of the time. And actually, the top 100 player average is 76% of the time. So Sinner is well over the average. Yeah, and that was a credible start to the point from Khachanov. It was a long rally, but if we go back to that very first shot, he hit the return down the middle of the court. Sinner's one of those players that likes to stand right on the baseline. So if you can push him off of his mark from the very beginning of the point, then you can be in the advantage. See how much Khachanov tries to use that return down the middle throughout this match.
ability to increase the tempo. He's spent 3 hours and 45 minutes less time on court than Khachanov, and with backhands like that, you can see why.
Yeah, you know, again, go back to that return again. It was deep down the middle. Sinner did frame the shot again. So Khachanov had a chance to get on an offensive position, but didn't take it, and Sinner will.
It's really evident from down at court level, the comparison between the two forehands here. It feels like a real point of difference for Sinner, his ability to flatten out his own forehand and hit big through the court. It feels like he's got a real advantage in that respect.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, Colin. That forehand, if it's flat into Khachanov's forehand, because he has such a big swing, you can get him.
And that'll work. Little step into court and forehand measured superbly.
Yeah, big one there, and I think it's a great point, Nick, in the forehand to forehand battle, but I just think the ability to finish points as well when he does get a short ball. I'd be interested to see how the forehand winners stack up, you know, as this match progresses.
That we don't normally see from Jannik Sinner. Only the second error on the forehand wing. But he was trying to go back into that forehand of Khachanov. We see the coach there of Khachanov, Jose Clavet. Been together for quite a few years now.
Point save with a rocket down the tee.
Yeah, and Jannik Sinner is pretty much known for liking that slice serve in a big moment. He likes to go a bit more out wide on the deuce, tee on the ad. Just kind of a natural motion for him in the way he hits it. Yeah, and that's the plan right there from Khachanov. It's going to be who can take the backhand down the line earlier for Khachanov going into that forehand as Sinner, because if you can attack Sinner's backhand, he doesn't really have a slice. So if you can get him to take that hand off, he might get a floater that he can take out of the air.
Second break point for Khachanov.
Two times in a row with the slice serve again on a big point. Something that I'm sure his coach will be looking out for and maybe rally and let Khachanov know.
Oh, read it beautifully. Execution spot on.
Yeah, it's again when Khachanov went to the slice grip, Sinner just had a feeling it was going to be a drop shot, quick first step. And when you get there that quickly, you have so many options, and he picked the right one there.
Big serve so far, 2-10. Body serve was smart. He dodged a couple of bullets there, saving 2 break points to hold for 3-1.
And that's where you can get the benefit of the breeze that is out here on MCA. It's at Sinner's back, the end he's currently at, so you can just see there's extra bit of pop on the first serve, and even that second serve into the body, you know, it maintains its pace that bit longer. It's on the returner quicker, and Khachanov just late on the ball there. So Sinner's smart to use the breeze and getting that benefit.
Oh, he's made it.
Well, you know what? Practice makes perfect. I was next to Sinner yesterday on the practice court and saw him working on that inside-out drop shot where he would move to the left and then go inside out with it. And he must have done 10 to 12 in a row, didn't miss, because he knew how important it was going to be to bring Khachanov up to the net, work to perfection.
Was wide open. Couldn't make the forehand, but
yeah, he got beat once before with the forehand cross-court angle, and so you're kind of playing with fire there when you go into Sinner's forehand. It's got to be a great approach shot, which that one was. he's going to have to continue to use, because when he goes down the line to Sinner forehand, he can then attack the backhand of Sinner, and that's where Sinner is a little bit vulnerable. Sometimes doesn't quite get there fast enough, and also he's so close to the baseline that he gets pushed off his mark.
Timely big first serve. His serve wasn't at a premium in his third round match. Khachanov against Thomas Makash has had a good tournament. The Czech player, he beat him in 4 sets. Certainly on song against Kovacevic in the second round. All his 3 rounds have gone, the 4 sets, and he holds, but Sinner leads by break and 3-2 opening set.
Sorry.
Sinner has the break, 3-2 his lead. And we're just wondering, Nick, where are the Carota boys? The singing carrots are not in the stadium.
I know, we haven't been able to find him, and I think Colin Fleming down courtside hasn't been able to either.
He's on carrot watch.
Yeah, I'll do my best, guys. It's a little interesting. Not a huge sort of raucous atmosphere as yet, but building nicely.
Yeah, it looks like the stadium is about 90% full, and they're ready to get wild.
59.
Well, that 3 hours and 45 minutes less on court than Khachanov must be a pretty big bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. When you get into matches like this, you know, when your legs feel fresh, you feel like you can go for hours. That always helps. Khachanov in his first 3 rounds having to go 4 sets each match. Yeah, there's that return deep down the middle once again. Because Sinner's so close to that baseline, just want to push him off his mark and set up Khachanov to have extra time on the forehand to take complete control.
Just missing. That's the second frame ball off the racket of Sinner that's fallen in.
Yeah, from the middle of the court once again. And Khachanov, he's only won 1 of his last 19 matches against top 5 players at tour level. So this is a big match. And one of the things that he's been talking about is he has so much confidence in himself that he can be a top 10 player, and he knows it. He just feels like he wants to be able to show it in a big showcase like this one.
Hold T50.
Yeah, it's just that change of pace every now and then can throw up Jannik Sinner. You know how much he's improved his drop shots and a little bit of the slice, but you still want to be able to change up the pace on him, not give him the same target in his strike zone.
That's disappointing. Gifting a point to Sinner, who confirms the break with a hold and 4-2 first set.
Yeah, Jannik Sinner lives in Monte Carlo. Did all of his preseason there with Simone Vagnozzi and Darren Cahill. Said one of his biggest tennis idols was Andrea Seppi, one of the old players that's now retired. Andrea Seppi lives in Boulder, Colorado. Big into his horses now. Also an AC Milan fan is Jannik Sinner. Are you a big football fan?
Absolutely.
Yeah, who's your team?
FC Barcelona.
There you go.
There's the Italian strip.
Oh, what a strike from Khachanov there. Yeah, and that's when he's at his best, when he's moving to his left. You see how he gave himself a lot of space around this ball so that his arm could swing freely. And even better that it went outside of the court, outside of the trim line.
Now first service helped a lot for Karen Khachanov. More like it for him. Sinner has the break and a 4-3 lead in the first set.
Time.
The second Sunday, the 2024 Australian Open, and Jannik Sinner has the service break, a lead of 4 games to 3. All sorts of different headwear at this year's Open, but no sign of the Carrota boys. The giant carrots have not entered the stadium, but Sinner has the advantage. Serving with new balls. Sneaky serve volley.
Yeah, there's the wrinkle from Jannik Sinner that now players have to worry about. He's not just going to serve and stay back and can out hit you from the baseline. On the very first point of the game, he might serve and volley. And did that to perfection.
There's Darren Cain on the left, of course, encouraging, I'm sure, Jannik to push into net whenever he can. Super change of direction.
Well, I think also they just realize how great of an athlete Jannik Sinner is. You know, he was a big skier, Jannik Sinner, and you know, he's been compared to Novak Djokovic and the way he can move on the court. And Darren Cahill, Simone Bagnoli knows you think that skiing really helped the movement.
Yep. Loads up on the forehand, does that so well on the rise for 5-3. And he's in command of this first set, Jannik Sinner.
Sinner needs 5 games to 3.
Yeah, that was an absolute scorcher beforehand. And as you said, the ball just hung up a little bit too long for Jannik Sinner. He's able to cut off the angle.
And again, just increasing the pace through the court.
And Karen Khachanov kind of had a tough year last year. He had a roadblock during Roland Garros where he had a fracture in his backbone and lower back, and just had to take 7 weeks off. He took 7 weeks off without a racket in his hand, and then came back to win the title in Zhuhai, China. And he said he was just so happy to be back on court after dealing with those kinds of injuries. And then he was playing at such a great level, and he's continued that level. So, you know, once you kind of have those injuries, you kind of have a newfound love for the sport and being healthy and being able to play Grand Slams like this. But now, Karen Khachanov is deep in a hole in this first set. Karen Khachanov is known for liking that wide serve on the ad side on a big point. That's definitely one of his favorites.
See, despite a low first serve percentage, Jannik Sinner that's more like it. Struggling in the service game, he's pulled it back for a game point.
As he said, Karen Khachanov goes serve and he looks for that forehand 60% of the time right after the serve. That's That's his biggest weapon.
That's a tough hold. Khachanov digs in, but Sinner will serve for the set at 5-4 when they return.
Yeah, and as we're going to see here, Karen Khachanov, he's got such great power on his serve, averages 120 miles per hour on the first serve. And then when it comes back, he's always looking for that forehand off the +1, 60% of the time. Such great load and wind up, catches the ball early. And look at how he falls into the court when he makes contact with the shot. It's exactly how you want to hit your forehand.
Such an extreme grip, isn't it, on the forehand?
Yeah, it sure is, and that's why it's tough if the ball's low to his forehand. So if you can slice it to the forehand, or maybe short slice to bring him in. When it's up high, watch out.
Karen Khachanov had a few issues on his previous service game, but he found a way to force it onto the racket of Jannik Sinner. Let's see if he can close it out. Yet to drop a set in the Australian summer. The number 4 seed. Oh, brilliant.
That's massive. And again, that backhand down the line is what is setting up this forehand that comes up a little bit higher from Jannik Sinner, because he's hitting the ball so hard down the line. Jannik Sinner is not able to get that flat hit that we've been used to seeing throughout this set. And when it sets up, watch out for Karen Khachanov.
Yeah, really apparent there that he upped the ante in his big game. The ball speed was up, forehand and backhand. And he's going to go after it here, crunching it.
Makes the first delivery so important. He's operating under 50% on the first serve.
Yeah, only making 48% of his first serves is Jannik Sinner. And again, I keep talking about this return down the middle of the court. That's the 3rd or 4th shank that we've seen once that return goes deep down the middle.
Got away with one there. Wow.
Yeah, he sure did, because that was a second serve. But if Sinner does make the first serve, Khachanov puts less than 70% of his first serve returns in the court. That's exactly what Sinner needs to do here if he wants maybe a free point. Make that first serve.
Two great points. Interesting dynamic. He's obviously not operating at full capacity. Still trying to find a way.
30-14.
Lands the first serve, hits the spot, and saves a second break point.
Karen Khachanov getting that first serve return back in play. It was at 2:07, that first serve. And then, as Colin said, from court level, Khachanov is absolutely torquing the ball, putting so much behind it and pushing Sinner further back behind the baseline, not where he wants to be.
Now facing a third break point in this game. He gets there but can't deliver the killer blow. A couple of unforced errors have conspired against him in this game.
Yeah, Jannik Sinner stayed true to form. He typically hits his backhands cross court 85% of the time, so he stayed true to the backhand cross court. Didn't want to give up an easy error. Instead, he got the easy error from Khachanov.
Beyond Christmas, but there's been some gifts out there. Khachanov to Sinner, and now he's got a set point of his own. Big first serve. There's only 3 break points in that game, and he's found a way. Jannik Sinner in 51 minutes, 6 games to 4. And Colin, it was a disappointing end of the set by Khachanov, and Sinner, I think, is not really operating at 100% or anywhere near.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. It was quite a scrappy set of tennis, wasn't it? I thought the early stages promised a good quality, but I think both players just struggling for a little bit of rhythm.
Oh, the movement is just out of this world by Sinner.
Yeah, no problems with any rhythm there. What a point, both players. Conditions are still very much similar to when we started the match. I just wonder, with the Sinner first serve percentage in mind, is there just enough of a breeze here, and the fact that we're outdoors, roof open, he's got to live in the serve over the years. Are we just going to glimpse here maybe into why it's more difficult for him, you know, playing outdoors with a bit of a breeze than indoors where he's got that rhythm? It'll be interesting to see if he can serve better in this set and beyond. But if he does not raise the service performance, you've got to think there's a chance for Khachanov.
You can just see that the breeze and the wind, Khachanov was not happy with that. It's always a tough volley to hit. This high backhand volley takes a lot of shoulder strength. And then when it's that high, you want to aim for the service line. That way, if you miss it long, it's still in the court.
So frustrating. Breaking to love. Khachanov really struggling for his range on the ground.
Yeah, and as Colin said, look, at the end of that first set, Khachanov is trying to pick up the pace of the rally ball to get it on center quicker, and sometimes that can lead to just more mistakes. So that's why if you are going to pick up the pace, you want to bring in your targets, maybe not go for the lines. Jannik Sinner seems to be starting to find his form from the baseline. See the camp there for Karen Khachanov, Jose Clavet. He's also worked with Fabio Fognini for a very long time. Great Italian player. Coaching camp of Sinner, trying to pump him up. Yeah, and you talk about the time on court that Jannik Sinner has played, and it hasn't been quite a lot, but you know, he talks about how much he loves to sleep, and he's like, I'm very lucky that I can sleep for a long time. If I don't set an alarm, I can sleep until noon, but that's good for recovery. So he's done a great job of being able to recover after each match. Looks full of energy out here today. That being the second double fault for Jannik Sinner. It's easy to make that the first.
Well measured. He won 20 of his last 23 matches in the calendar year of 2023. Won the titles in Beijing and Vienna. Lead Italy to the first Davis Cup title in 47 years. And multiple wins over Novak Djokovic and Daniil Medvedev. Never having beaten Djokovic before. Medvedev, he lost the first 6 and has won the last 3. So against the big players in world tennis, he's building quite the record.
Please switch up the moment from the game.
Once again, that backhand down the line from Karen Khachanov is working extremely well, pushing Sinner back, and Sinner is always within 6 feet of the baseline for nearly 60% of his rally balls. So the more that you can push him off that mark, he's in a bit of trouble.
Saw the breeze gust and he missed the first serve. A couple of break points here for Khachanov. Oh, played out shot. And he's broken. Immediate break back, 1-1 second set.
Yeah, and that was a drop shot that worked well a few games ago, the one that I saw him practicing yesterday. So the muscle memory is there, which is always tougher when you're down a couple break points.
Just looked a little anxious in that game. And Nick, you'll be able to speak to this. I certainly have had the feeling when you're not serving well, that can tend to sort of filter into the rest of your game. And you know, he just didn't quite move the feet there. He just looked a little flat.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, Colin. And, you know, it's one of those things where, again, Khachanov loses 70% of the points when a first serve is made to his return. And Sinner just can't seem to find the first serve at 45%. And the rest of your game just starts not to feel quite as good. Mainly because what happens is you start to hit second serves, you start to get put on defense and having to play more balls throughout the rally than maybe you're used to.
Oh, he's changed the complexion of that rally. And the first player to hold serve in the second set is Karen Khachanov, and he's got a 2-1 lead.
Well, it could help in the next match because if you're playing a guy called Nova. Can you just watch the last 3 hours of tennis? The guy's hitting the ball okay. It might be okay. I mean, what do you think of that matchup?
Time.
Magnificent look at a magnificent complex at Melbourne Park. The orange roof belongs to Margaret Arena, and that's where this round of 16 match is taking place. Jannik Sinner is down a break, claimed the first set 6-4. Has hit a flat spot early in the second, serving at 1-2. Well, he said after a straight sets win over Sebastian Bayes, let's see how I handle the situation when the score is even or I'm down. It's going to be interesting. It's almost like he's observing himself, challenging his mentality. There's been a lot of hype surrounding him. He just wants to keep a lid on every bit of it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, look, it's all still a learning process for Jannik Sinner. He's still so young, but for Khachanov, it was a great comeback to be able to break right back, because when he gets broken, his break back percentage is 16%, so he really struggles to kind of get back into a set, but now he is back. Jannik Sinner, he's one of those guys in the locker room. Everyone knows how hard he works on the court. When he was working with Piatti, longtime coach from Italy, Piatti literally had to peel him off of the court. Jannik Sinner used to like to play doubles, singles, 250s, 500s, 1000s, pretty much every event he just wanted to play. But now he seemed to find his rhythm.
Oh, good hustling by Khachanov to stay in the point. And we're looking at Jannik Sinner in the lowest point of his Australian summer so far. Down a couple of break points for a double break in this second set. Just missed.
And again, there was that wide serve that Jannik Sinner tends to go for. He likes to cut the ball, come on the outside part to give it a little extra spin. He also knows that Khachanov likes to chip the forehand in tense situations. But he got the error there. Still has got to save another break point. Khachanov is now 1 of 8 on break points. Really struggling to find his return and get it deep enough in the court when it matters most.
Well, that's more like it. Crunchy goes. Can never be at your best over 2 weeks of a Grand Slam. Sinner just trying to hit his way out of trouble here.
Yeah, and so much of tennis is about just problem solving, finding a way to win when you're not playing your best.
Oh, he showed some grit. So just break point to level things up at 2-all. And that may end up being an important game, important rally for Jannik Sinner.
Yeah, and again, when he only takes 15% of his backhands down the line, that's not really the play that he goes for all the time. But when he does, it's so dangerous because he's able to then get a forehand on the next ball and take control of the point. So we saw that early on in the first set. They used that backhand down the line. Let's see if he starts to use it a little bit more in this second set.
It's been a roller coaster ride, Colin, emotionally for both players, but Khachanov must feel like he's had those opportunities and just hasn't taken them.
Yeah, and the danger is that he gets a bit frustrated by that. You think back to the 5-4 game in the first set where he had chances and didn't really cover himself in glory. Even that previous game, just when the chances have come, he's been a little charitable, hasn't he, with the errors. So he's got to tighten that up because there's no doubt in my mind Sinner's still pretty far from his best here.
Yeah, he's fragile. No doubt about that. Well, as fragile as we've seen him for quite some time, put it that way. Oh, the movement is just sublime. Wow.
Yeah, and again, just his ability there to take away the angle on that backhand down the line. You know, when you hit the backhand down the line, you want to make sure, you see him there sliding into a forehand, but you want to make sure you're not off balance. So he's going to be able to step into this ball. Had to hook it a little bit, but what a strike.
Just his fourth ace, to be looking to increase that count. Get a lot more free points on the first serve. Open court, that's a volley negotiated. The service held. Khachanov leads 3-2 second set.
Khachanov leads 3 games to 2. Time.
Thousands of fans enjoying all the action, not just at Margaret Court, but the magnificent stadium across Melbourne Park, and the great food, wine and hospitality areas. Plenty to experience.
Yeah, this is why it's known as one of the favorite slams for probably, this is my favorite slam. I just love the energy of Melbourne and how close it was to downtown. You just walk across the bridge and you're at the courts and you see all the flags around in the stands, and that's why they call it the Happy Slam. These players, we have our preseason November, December, about a month and a half, and you're so excited to get back on the court, and everyone knows that Melbourne's going to bring the heat.
Another high-octane rally.
Yeah, that's the problem there, though. When you go too many times to the Khachanov forehand, he's going to start to get a rhythm. He was absolutely bone-crushing the ball cross-court and also hit a few angles off the sideline. But if you go 6-7 balls in a row there, he can hurt you.
Talk about the happy slam. I think Jannik Sinner will be a lot happier if he can get his first serve percentage above 40 for this set and above 50 for the match.
Colin, what's your feeling down there as far as kind of game plan or the way these guys are hitting the ball?
Well, I thought the first point of that game there was very interesting. Great point by Khachanov, but it seemed to hurt Sinner a little. I think mentally, but physically as well. He just really slowed down. I'm just going to keep a close eye on him here. And just another point of note, it's now a lot cooler. The sun is firmly behind the clouds, and temperature feels like it's dropped a few degrees out here.
Oh, sublime angle. Great creativity there by Sinner.
Yeah, and I've been expecting to see a little more of that, if I'm honest. I feel like he's really added that to his game with Darren Cahill coming into the team. And I think just possibly because he's been a little low in confidence, maybe with the serve struggles, we've not seen as much variety as yet. But that was a beauty there.
Oh, that's the winning combination right there. That backhand down the line and then getting the short ball. And how fast did he get up to that short ball? Quick first step. No chance for Khachanov to catch up to this forehand down the line. Just such big hitting at the ball.
Solid hold, 3-all He leads by a set, claiming the first 6-4, and we know Darren Cain's guided some champions to Grand Slam success before. Agassi and Hewitt, Simona Halep of more recent times. Worked a little bit with Andy Murray as well as Anna Ivanovic. So a lot of top class players have been under the watchful eye of Darren Cain.
I used to work with some of the players with the Adidas team, Sorana Cristea as well, who's working now with Thomas Johansson. But it's one of those things where when you have a coach like that who's worked with so many great players, you trust every word he says, and it creates a lot of positivity and belief in your mind.
50-0.
Jannik Sinner, we've been seeing on the forehand wing throughout this match. It's gone up 8 Ks, and now it's gone up to 127 kilometers off the forehand wing. And on the backhand wing, he's up to 129 kilometers, which is 7 Ks up. So he is absolutely torching the ball out here right now, Jannik Sinner. Net points for Karen Khachanov, 10 of 15. And again, anytime you can make Jannik Sinner have to pass, especially more off that backhand wing, that's where maybe he's not as effective.
Full T15.
Straight up the middle, no angle for Sinner to feed off, and a solid hold for a 4-3 lead, second set to Khachanov.
Can I ask you for this? Where can I throw it?
Time.
A cool Margaret Court Arena is the venue for this 4th round match. Jannik Sinner claimed the first set 6-4. He claimed a couple of firsts last year too. A semi-final at a Grand Slam at Wimbledon, lost to Novak Djokovic, and also his first ever Masters 1000 win. That came in Toronto over Alex de Minaur, but he's looking for greater heights to scale in Melbourne. He serves at 3-4 in the second. Little sneaky move. He's now, what, 10 from 11 at net. So obviously that's an area that he's worked on with Darren Cahill, when and where to come in.
Yeah, I think Darren Cahill's brought that, but also Simone Vagnozzi. I saw them working on this a lot. His very first week with Simone Bagnozzi, it was at Indian Wells, and I was there and I was watching a practice he was doing, and for about an hour it was drop shots, drop volleys, a lot of the intangibles that Bagnozzi had when he played. So again, you have such extreme power, you want to be able to back that up with a little variety as well. You want to be able to hit the short shots when you have your opponent push back with all that power.
We've seen so many upsets of this year's Australian Open. Seeds are falling left, right and centre. You just get the feeling this is a match for Sinner. Get to the locker room any which way. Sometimes you can't play at your best at every match. Certainly not at this level. He's got a struggle on his hands at 30 all in the 8th game of the second set.
Yeah, Karen Khachanov does a great job of looking to take balls on the rise. His percentage of taking it on the rise is 45%. Top 100 average is 46%. So he looks to take that forehand on the jump, get it to you quickly if he can.
Faulty 30.
And a clench fist to his team. He's battling the demons out there. Still, first serve percentage under the 50 mark. Not helping his cause. And to Colin's earlier point, definitely sung the praises of the roof, under the roof at Rod Laver in the previous round match.
Yeah, I just feel like this sort of oohs and ahs from the crowd as well. It adds to the angst, doesn't it, for Sinner as he hits a double fault there. I think everyone switched on to the fact that he's just battling himself a little bit here.
Yeah, you just feel like in this match, whoever gets that first strike is typically the one winning the point. Khachanov knowing that he doesn't want to be the one playing defense, as well as his coach there, Jose Clavet. Break points 1 of 8 from Khachanov. So he's giving himself plenty of opportunities. Can he take one here?
Lands a first serve at just the right time.
We keep saying, you know, if you're Karen Khachanov, you want to look for those slice serves on big points, maybe move over one step and make Sinner go the other way.
Had to make that return. He went to the chip, he was on it, and he was really annoyed at himself for missing it. It's another chance gone for Khachanov.
Comes up with a meek backhand. I think he's been his own worst enemy in pressure moments today. That's why he's on his toes, just trying to keep the focus going. Eight of 9 break points saved by Jannik Sinner. Now he's got a game point to level things up.
That's the third double fault there from Jannik Sinner. And again, just feeling the pressure of the Khachanov return, knowing that he's going to take a big swing on it. What do you think down there, Colin?
Well, I agree with that, but I think that's compounded by the fact that rhythm looks way off.
Yeah.
It feels like he's tried to quicken the rhythm at the tail end of last year, which worked really well for him on the indoor tournaments, but it's off here, so he feels the pressure, but he's struggling with his own serve.
Well, Colin, we're going to take a look at the service action here. What did you think about, he went from the step up to a pinpoint and then now back to the step up. What do you think's better for him?
Well, I think the step up seems to have worked, but he's also sort of abbreviated the arm and the racket work. I think he gets it up a little quicker, and it's therefore slightly, lower toss, a bit more of a fluid motion, but the whole synchronization of that move just seems to be a little off today.
Well, you've got to admire his work under pressure, saving 9 of 10 break points.
But that should give him huge confidence, delivering a serve like that in that moment. Maybe his best serve of the day when you consider the scoreline.
Advantage Sinner.
Once again, going to the well with the wide serve on a big point. Khachanov has got to take that one away.
Well, he's locked into the battle, and somehow he's found a way to hold. Karen Khachanov would be aggrieved, frustrated, missing out on a golden opportunity in that 8th game.
Yeah, he sure did. But again, it's about just getting the return back in play. As we said, his percentages of missing the return on the first serve is 70%. So if you make a first serve and Khachanov's going to miss it 70% of the time, that's a pretty good average if you're the server.
Sinner is a grinner. Well, he's not quite a grinner at the moment. But I take your point, young man.
Ladies and gentlemen, players of the league, thank you.
Khachanov serving at 74%, winning exactly the same percentage of first serves into play. of the radar has not been totally tuned in for Jannik Sinner. Karen Khachanov, as mentioned before, missed between May and August, didn't play Wimbledon. The stress issues in the back, which really curtailed his 2023. Net rush at the right time.
Yeah, again, just taking time away there. And again, when you're able to take time away that quickly from the passer, unless he's able to get his left foot out there to hit that open stance backhand, he's going to be in trouble. 12 of 13 on the net points won. Impressive.
Big first serve and a solid hold too. He keeps his nose in front. Khachanov by 5-4. Second set.
Time.
And the fans enjoying the action at Margaret Court Arena. Some of the Azzurri, and plenty of Azzurri fans actually supporting Jannik Sinner. We mentioned Karen Khachanov's poor record against top 20 players. Well, in Grand Slam play, Sinner's on a 5-match losing streak. His last win was a good one though, over the number 7 in the world at that stage, Carlos Alcaraz. Round of 16 Wimbledon 2022. So just trying to translate that top 20 form at regular tour level. It's a different story. He's won 6 of the past 7. Only defeat was against Novak in the final of the ATP finals. Remember, he beat him in the round robin and also in the Davis Cup semi-finals. So sensational performance against the top players last year.
Yeah, and Sinner has been kind of compared to Roger Federer with his on-court demeanor, all-court movement. And Federer even said, what I love about him is that he's got the same speed off the forehand and the backhand. So that's what helps when you're playing these top players, is that you're able to just absolutely keep up your top form and pace over a long period of time.
Third T15. Full T15.
Yeah, that was a better serve from Jannik Sinner. And when we're looking at the stats from Hawkeye, his spread of where he's making contact with his serve is 56 centimeters on the deuce and 58 centimeters on the ad side. So he's kind of all over the place with the contact point at the moment.
Good forehand, safely held for 5-all. And Colin, I suppose one of the more impressive displays from Jannik Sinner today has been the way he's managed himself emotionally.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, let's not forget, this is a Grand Slam 4th round. This isn't a sort of, a practice set in the off-season, and that brings a bit of pressure, especially, the expectation on Sinner to win this. And I think that can sometimes just expose maybe any work that is being done. Just put it to the test is probably what I'm getting at. And I'm really impressed with the way he's working through the struggles on the serve.
Yeah, he's worked through some difficult moments. He's probably got a few more to come. Well below his premium form in this match. Just occasionally he does that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've seen him do that drill over and over where he'll literally just stand in place. Simone Bagnozzi will feed him forehands from the left side of the court, and he'll just absolutely rip them as hard as he can with that target exactly right there going off of the court. So muscle memory will always come back into play at some point. And again, he came out in this match, did Sinner, looking to take the backhand down the line to Khachanov's forehand, and he's kind of gotten away from that in a way. Again, he's kind of gone down to the well of that 85% cross court that he normally does with his percentages. Khachanov is right on it now.
Oh, you're joking. That is unbelievable. At the end of an atrocious rally like that, he's ripped the forehand for a magnificent winner.
29 shots, longest rally of the match. Colin, what did you feel down there?
Point of the match without a doubt. And suddenly we got a little bit of variety from both players with the slicing. I was sure Sinner was coming out on top of that point. He looked like the aggressor. He was smashing the backhand. Khachanov, take a bow there. That was sensational.
105 kilometers off that forehand. Massive. Well, Khachanov had the opening Great use of the forehand short off the court to then open up the down the line. That's geometry at its best, but needed a little bit more shape on that approach shot. And just ask the question. You put it over the net, make him come up with the passing shot.
Over the high part of the net, just controlled that backhand superbly. And now the pressure being applied and reapplied on Karen Khachanov.
Intensity has gone through the roof here. Just the footwork, how low Sinner's getting to the ball. Really testing Khachanov here.
Sinner looking to put 1 foot forward now. As Colin said, the intensity has gone through the roof. The pace of shot and weight is going up. And Sinner looking to come forward just a little bit more.
Perfect record on break points. Same cannot be said for his opponent, who's now having to defend one in this 11th game. Huge forehand, and he separated himself from his opponent with a huge break of serve. 6-5 second set.
And that shot was unreal. 152 kilometers on that forehand. Absolutely massive from Jannik Sinner. Extended rally. Sinner just not leaving his mark on top of that baseline. And then look at the coil and extension. Full relaxation. How loose the wrist is. And that's how you get that extra pace.
Time.
Well, the fans on Margaret Arena and viewing right around the world will be thrilled with the drama and intensity of this 4th round match. Neither player have been at their best. Jannik Sinner is now serving for a 2-sets-to-love advantage.
Jannik Sinner, once again, when he gets a break, he wins that set 91% of the time. He did have an early break in this set, got broken back, and now here he is serving for the set. And Jannik Sinner, everything he's touching is turning into gold now. He's flying high. It's that moment where you just feel like you could do no wrong. 16 winners now.
Oh, brilliant. Measured to perfection. It looks like his Zen intensity will pay off in the second set. He's had to ride the highs and the lows. There's been a few of those. And now 3 set points.
What
a way to close it out. He struggled on serve, but there was no struggle with closing a 2 sets to love advantage to Jannik Sinner in 1 hour and 51 minutes. And I'm glad they've confirmed their wives love tennis. That's important to note. Khachanov serving to start the 3rd set.
And it's important for Khachanov to win that first point and just really show Jannik Sinner, if he can get a hold of serve here, that he's not going anywhere. Colin, in your opinion, what do you think Karen Khachanov can do to kind of right the ship here?
Well, their first meeting was 2020 US Open, and Khachanov was 2 sets to love down there, came back to win. So, you know, maybe he can take something from that. But I do have to say, Sinner's a very different player now. I just feel like he has to just kind of go for it. I'd love to see him maybe take a few balls early, come in a little bit, flatten it out. But that's not necessarily his game, is it? This has been the challenge for Khachanov. This is why, you know, I think you mentioned it earlier, that the record against top players or the highest ranked players in the slams maybe isn't the best, and I think that's why the ability to vary things and get himself out of certain situations. But it's been interesting to see how he approaches his 3rd set.
Well, he's made the best possible start, holding to love.
First game, that's it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there, Colin. I think that for Khachanov, it's one of those things where he's just getting put on the defense so quickly by Jannik Sinner, and so he's got to try to play a little bit more first strike tennis if he can. And you know, the scouting report on Jannik Sinner is to play big through the middle, maybe take away his angles because he's so close to that baseline. And if you take away the angles, then you might get a few shorter balls, and then you can attack that backhand wing.
Yeah, and I think, you know, when we look at the reality of the first 2 sets, I mean, he had his chances, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, I think ultimately sometimes it just comes down to execution. You know, you guys can tell me the exact stat, but he's had a lot of break points and other sort of little half chances, and I feel like he's missed on quite a few of them. So he's definitely going to do a better job on the big points in this set.
Yeah, as you said, Colin, I mean, 1 of 10 on break points, so you got to still feel like you're in this. I mean, when you have 10 break points, that means you're giving yourself a chance. You're making enough returns. You know, look, Khachanov's making 72% of his return, so the ball's going back in court.
A super tweener.
Yeah, and he kind of gave him a fake too at the net. You know, when Jannik Sinner was running up for the drop shot, he kind of gave him a fake like he was going to come forward, and then the lob went up, and he went back in between the legs. That's not something that a lot of players practice over and over, and it looks like he's got that in his bag.
What a punishing rally.
Well, how well conditioned are these two athletes right here to go such a long point the point before, and then now to have the longest rally of the match at 33 shots right there. And Jannik Sinner, every time he's come up for that drop shot from Khachanov, when it's come to his forehand, he's gone back cross court with it. And I think Khachanov's starting to realize that. So let's see if he starts to hit the drop shot and then move to his forehand more often.
Next, position.
Of a 33-shot rally.
That's you.
He puts the return halfway up the net.
Yeah, Khachanov has won one of 2 5-set matches that he's played at the Australian Open. He's 9-8 in 5-set matches, so he'd love to try to get to that point.
Frustration of all those missed break point opportunities, having Sinner at love 30 in this game. Just beginning to bubble over for Khachanov.
Let's
Oh, he's proving the master of dodging a ball on serve, that's for sure. Jannik Sinner, somehow he holds. He's 1-1 in the third set.
Yeah, he saved 9 of 10 of his break points, 90%. Talk about the great players. They're just so clutch in important moments. They make first serves. They make you play. aim for big targets, and we see his team on their feet.
.36 winner, flowing off the racket of Jannik Sinner. 5 forehand, 7 off the backhand. 14 more than his opponent.
Laver Arena.
Both players at love 30. The last couple of service games.
He has a good wide serve from Khachanov, but Jannik Sinner knows that serve's coming wide. That's why he was able to take such a big swing on it. Just kind of sat on that forehand return. And now Khachanov happened to defend a break point.
And Sinner trying to keep his perfect record intact. 3 from 3. First break point sake in the match for Karen Khachanov. Calls a fight from his team. That's exactly what he's got to do. 2 sets to love down when he's had a host of opportunities. Both players on the limit. That's amazing backcourt coverage from Karen Khachanov.
Advantage Khachanov.
Struggle, but again the hold goes to Khachanov. The 15th seed leads 2-1 third set.
Khachanov leads 2 games to 1.
Guys, just a little bit of a stumble from Jannik Sinner on that very last point. I'm not sure if it was anything major, but I'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, thanks for keeping an eye on that. We're getting a quick look at Mr. Khachanov with this little hot dog between his legs. Colin Fleming, he owns that shot. I think Khachanov learned that from Colin.
I wish. It's deliberate though. He's hit the lob deliberately there. You know, these guys, amazing control of the racket face. It's not like he just sort of a hit and hope.
Yeah.
He tried to get that trajectory, and that's just an unbelievable shot.
Well, you know, one guy that actually practices that shot is Hubie Hurkacz. I was speaking with his coach, Craig Boynton, and he said, I can't get that shot out of his repertoire, so if he's going to use it, we're going to practice it.
Time.
Karen Khachanov had to scale the mountain. Coming back from 2 sets to love down is the task. And Jannik Sinner, well, he's ridden the highs with the lows in this match. First serve percentage now climbing above the 50% mark. It's well below that for the first couple of sets. And the fourth seed resumes at 1-2 in the third. Well, Sinner's done a really good job with keeping a lid on all the hype, because obviously with Djokovic sculling the Grand Slam mountain and the ascension of Carlos Alcaraz, the focus has gone on Jannik Sinner as the one to emerge in 2024. Backhand, but Nicky looks like he's well and truly putting the process well ahead of the outcome.
Yeah, he sure is, and I feel like, you know, again, that just comes down to his work rate. I mean, you have to peel him off the court. He loves practicing, loves learning, hence having two coaches with Darren Cahill and Simone Vagnozzi. So he's in the right mind frame. No matter what happens in a match, he'll try to problem solve.
That's measured tennis.
Yeah, that's 16 winners off the forehand wing from Jannik Sinner. Khachanov has 11. But one thing is for sure, these guys are absolutely crushing the tennis ball out here today.
He's found the serve, holding to love for 2-all. And after the last match, Colin, he spoke, it was a pretty funny interview actually with Jim Courier, spoke about the tension in his strings at 28 kilograms for the indoors, producing more speed. And that's what he loves to play at.
Yeah, I think he just wants that bit of control because, well, generating power certainly isn't a problem. We've seen that. I mean, it's incredible the pace these guys, both these guys are hitting the ball.
Yeah, as you saw the pace there on the screen, but just topspin speed average for Jannik Sinner is 129.7. Average for Khachanov 124.3. So Sinner's got more forehand topspin speed over the course of a match than Khachanov, but either way, these guys are finding extreme pace.
15-all.
A little bit of cheekiness from the Italian. Exactly what Simone Vignosi and Darren Cahill have added to his game. He's got that massive swing and pace off the forehand wing, which allows the drop shot to open up. This is the first time we've seen him go with the forehand cross-court drop shot. Throughout this match, he's hit 4 from the ad court inside out. Well disguised.
Thirty-all.
Oh, the ability to change direction, superb by Jannik Sinner. And with that comes a very important break point early in the third set. 3 from 4 on break point opportunities.
I almost feel like anyone who uses the backhand down the line early on in the point wins the rally. And when Khachanov goes with his backhand down the line, it's a big tendency that Jannik Sinner is going to come back cross court. So that's why he's able to use it and then start moving to his right and wait for that cross court shot to then go down the line. A lot of tactical plans in place right now.
Advantage Kitchen.
Ace number 7, 200 clicks, and his top speed's been around 206, so not as quick as Sinner. Didn't serve as well in the previous round, so not getting as many free points as he would like, but now a game point. That's a way to finish it off after saving a break point. His nose is back in front. Karen Khachanov leads by 3 games to 2.
And here we're going to take a look at Jannik Sinner when he's down break point, how close he is serving to the lines. Is getting it within 2 feet of the line every time that he needs a big point. And that is just trusting your spots. That is muscle memory, practice. And he's got Khachanov on the stretch on those returns, which has led to short balls that he's able to dictate.
Time.
It's a coolish Sunday, second Sunday of the first Grand Slam of 24. The Australian Open. The orange roof is a colourful sight. It's also brought some colourful activity on court between Jannik Sinner and Karen Khachanov. Games on serve, third set. Sinner's made quarterfinals or better in all 4 of the Grand Slams. His signature performance came last year at Wimbledon, where he made the semis, lost to Djokovic. He'll be looking to go one better at this year's Australian Open.
And as we look at the first serve percentage by set, Sinner's increasingly getting better, starting at 49%. That was very low for him, but now 56 up to 64. Slowly improving is Jannik Sinner.
Our body serve, drive to net. Smart play by Sinner.
Yeah, second serve points won 100%. 5 of 5 in this set. Well, Karen Khachanov just completely taking a swing there on that second serve return. Down love 40. He said, why not? I'm just going to let this one go. 144 kilometers an hour.
Khachanov pushing, but missing with a forehand. 3-all, third set. No doubt who's the more frustrated at the moment. I must say Sinner's demeanour hasn't changed too much.
Yeah, just on that point, David, it's really striking how sort of mature he is, even for, you know, still relatively young age. You know, he's just working his way through this match. Even when Khachanov plays big points or there's disappointments, he just sort of doesn't let it faze him. You know, he seems to have a good relationship with his team. Very level-headed for his age.
I think his maturity and demeanor must be a little bit unnerving sometimes to his opponents.
Yeah, and also stays true to his routines. I remember at Wimbledon last year, he was talking about how he was eating at his flat every night, had the same restaurant delivered there, and you know, he sticks to his routines, and that helps in pressure situations as well.
Oh, he's done it. Wonderful hands. He just saw Khachanov going the other way and said, no, I'm going up the line.
Well, I'm looking at his coach, Simone Bagnosi, because I also watched them do that specific drill as well, where Bagnosi hit a drop shot, and he was teaching Jannik Sinner and showing him to wait to the last minute. It looked like you're going cross court, but then finesse it down the line. And his coach just did that with his hand to Darren Cahill to say, we were just practicing that yesterday.
Love 30-second serve. Oh, brilliant. Both right on the limit. Backhand cross-court volley was the difference for Khachanov.
I mean, it's just amazing seeing the movement from Jannik Sinner, not ever behind the Melbourne sign, because how many players do we watch and they get behind that Melbourne sign and it's hard for them to get back up in the court. Jannik Sinner stayed there, but Karen Khachanov took advantage of net play.
He was there. And he's made it. 2 break points. Both players weren't quite sure. And guess what? More out than in, but it doesn't matter. It's touched the line.
As 1 millimeter on the line. Talk about a game of millimeters. Unbelievable.
Khachanov now playing for survival, serving for survival. Facing 2 break points.
You feel like that was a shot that he wanted. He was definitely lined up for that shot. He moved quickly to that ball, had his feet under him, and that's when you can go down the line. When you have your feet under you, just need a little bit more shape on that forehand.
Tight forehand. Unforced error. And the break of serve to Jannik Sinner. He leads by 2 sets to love and 4-3.
Sinner leads 4 games to 3. Time.
Late afternoon becomes early evening on a Sunday. Second Sunday of the Grand Slam. The first time we've had a Sunday start to the Australian Open. A real positive for fans and giving tournament organisers a little bit more wriggle room. Jannik Sinner's given himself some wriggle room because he's got the break in the third set. He's ridden the indifferent form, and now the positive vibes must be flowing. Serving at 4-3.
Yeah, you always want to go back to that stat. If he gets a break early in the set, he wins it 91% of the time. That is a very, very high percentage. And as we look at the pressure points here, 31 for Sinner, 24 for Khachanov. Sinner just hitting the bigger targets, more pace, trusting himself in these big moments.
And Colin, what's been interesting is 2 sets to love up, but the talk from his team has been constant, reinforcing the principles and the process.
Yes, they've got a really close connection, and even this third set, when his level has improved, you know, this has still been a match that I feel he's really had to work through. It's not like he's come out and had his best tennis and blown Khachanov away here. But again, I go back to the maturity, the presence of mind, both from Sinner and his team. It's a very calm but focused sort of setup, and they just seem to be in such a good place as a unit.
He's got the finish line in sight, holding for 5-3.
Sinner leads 5 games to 3.
Wouldn't like to play him in poker, that's for sure.
Definitely not. Yeah, he stays cool, calm, and collected.
Must hold for Karen Khachanov. Serving at 67%, but you would expect a player of his strength to be converting a lot more than just 66, the same figure. That's credit must go to the return of service Sinner, his awareness and the ability to read the Khachanov serve.
Yeah, Sinner's making 77% of returns back in play. Sometimes it's so difficult for a server like Khachanov, who's used to getting a lot of free points, to kind of deal with having to play so many balls coming back to him off the return. And not only that, but when Sinner's putting the return back in the court, a lot of times it's coming with some venom behind it.
There goes crunch. Unbelievable hitting from Jannik Sinner.
Unbelievable court awareness and positioning. And he hit the backhand from the corner, then the ball landed short. And he took a 45-degree angle up into the court to get it. See the backhand down the line there? Here he comes. Time away. See you later. 164-kilometer-hour forehand.
Well, he's well and truly saving his best for last. Heavy hitting and the pressure wearing on Karen Khachanov. He now has to wear match point.
14.
Well, it's been a win of great maturity, great self-belief, and a significant step into the second week of the Australian Open for Jannik Sinner. He's not dropped a set yet at Melbourne Park.
Yeah, Jannik Sinner and his team just hugging it out right there. They know how difficult of a task that was playing against Karen Khachanov, who absolutely torches the ball, but Jannik Sinner, enough variety, net play, 26 and 29 points at the net to diffuse the power for Khachanov. What a display by Jannik Sinner.
Showing great respect for his opponent as well. He's developing into not only one of the elite players, but a great statesman of the game, young statesman Jannik Sinner.
Yeah, he sure is. And, you know, again, he's been talked about similar to Roger Federer in his all-court game and style, and everybody applauding. All right, Khachanov here. Absolutely great tennis from this young man.
It wasn't to be for last year's semi-finalist. Will it be semi-final or beyond for this man? It's going to get tougher and tougher. Round of 16 lost to Stefanos Tsitsipas in 5 sets last year. Tsitsipas earlier today was out of the tournament at the hands of Taylor Fritz. Not a major upset, but the upsets keep on rolling, don't they? Sinner is the winner.
Jannik, congratulations. A great performance through to the quarterfinals here. Again, you know, Karen, a top player, you know, a semi-finalist here last year. You must be delighted with your performance. What were your thoughts on it, and you know, how would you assess the match?
Yeah, we haven't played for a while now. I think the last match was a couple of years ago, but we played actually here on this court, and it was a very tough match. And usually when we always play, it's a tough match. So he's an incredible player. I try to stay there mentally, physically, and obviously thanks everyone. It's always such a pleasure to play here in front of you guys.
Yeah, you mentioned you played on this court before. It was in one of the lead-up events a few years ago. You've had three previous matches, all tough battles. How much is that part of your preparation? How much does it play in your mind during the match as well, to have had tough battles in the past against an opponent?
Yeah, sometimes you think back, and but still, it's every match has its own story. Today I won, so I'm very happy, but still it's obviously very, very tough to play against him. We have quite similar game styles, so it's everything flat. It's a kind of ping pong, ping, ping, but it's but still it's sometimes trying to mix it up, the game, which I try to do, and so I'm very happy.
Let me take you back to 5-all in the second set. A real crucial game in the match. I think it was 30-15, a 33-shot rally. Karen finishes it with a huge forehand down the line winner. One of the points of the match. The crowd are going crazy. And yet you maintain this calm demeanor and you come back somehow to break in that game and then secure the second set. Are you as calm in the inside in those moments as you look on the outside?
No. No, or at least I try to stay calm from outside, but inside you have so many emotions and feelings, and especially when I think I played that point really well and I lost it, so it's bothering sometimes, tennis, but still you have to stay there. Trying to play a little bit also with the poker face, and which mine is not actually, but it's okay. And so it's fun, to play, but the reason why we always stay here and trying to compete, even when the conditions are quite tough, it's because of you guys, and you make it always very, very special.
Well, Jannik, you mentioned the crowd. There's a match starting very soon on Rod Laver Arena. You'll play the winner of that match. It's Andrei Rublev and Alex de Minaur. The crowd potentially could play a big factor in that. Are you going to get backstage and watch that match? And any thoughts on potentially facing those two?
Yeah, I love to play tennis, but I also really like to watch tennis now. So I'm also a huge tennis fan, so I'm going to watch it for sure. Obviously, the crowd here is very, very important. So if potentially Alex wins, it's going to be a different atmosphere, but honestly, this is part of the game. When I play in Italy, it's also very tough for the other ones. So anyway. In any case, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be obviously a tough match, but I'm going there with a smile, and I try to enjoy.
Well, listen, Jannik. Whoever comes through that match, we can't wait for it. So listen, well played today. All the best for the quarterfinals. Ladies and gentlemen, Jannik Sinner.